Hello, everyone out there in Rumble, X, and YouTube land. Welcome back to Diego Knows. I, of course, am Diego, and today we are going to talk some more about Wicked. That's right, Wicked. This gay-coded movie. It's pretty much all around gay. I'm reviewing this movie because technically it is a chick flick. Okay, it appeals to women and to gay guys. I have read this book. I listened to this like 20 something plus years ago. I listened to the whole damn thing when I was drawing a comic book at the time, back home in Chicago. And so I liked the story. I liked it a lot. My friends at work were telling me how good it was and stuff, and it was a brand new Broadway show. And I did not go see the show. I still have not, at least not in person. I never went. I saw it on YouTube. I saw the second act on YouTube last week. Okay, because I wanted to see how it was going to end. Okay, like I said, I've already read the book. So, but I've never actually gone to the theater to go see a production of Wicked, right? and I'm not going to. But they made the movie. I knew it was based on a very popular Broadway show. Again, I never bothered with the Broadway show, but I do know people that have watched it and they enjoyed it, whatever. Not my thing. But I did enjoy the book. Now, this is the only book that I read by Gregory Maguire. He wrote a whole series. He wrote a trilogy of these books. I think he actually wrote 4 books, actually. Okay, but this is the first one was Wicked, the story about the Wicked Witch of the West. Now, one of the big things about this, okay, the reason it's so significant, besides the Broadway show, is that when Gregory Maguire wrote Wicked, he decided to take the main villain from The Wizard of Oz, okay, the Wicked Witch of the West, and make her into the hero of the story, make her a good guy. Okay, now today, okay, on television shows, movies, okay, this is a cliche. Okay, it happens all the damn time. Okay, if you've ever watched a TV show, like in season 1, you've got the good guys and you got the bad guys. By season 4, one of the main bad guys is now one of the good guys. Okay, and like all the innocent people they killed in season 2 is like everyone forgot about it, or it turns out those were really bad people. It wasn't any good people that he killed. And let's just not talk about it. We'll act like And by season 5, the guy who started off as the evil villain in season 1 is now best friends with the hero in season 5. Okay, you see what I mean? Okay, how slowly they just rewrote everything, retconned everything to make it a misunderstanding. Oh, but you killed your parents. I saw their dead bodies. In season 1, you killed your parents. And in season 3, those weren't my parents. Okay, those were people that were murdered by that guy, and they framed it to make it look like I did it. And there's the whole time, all 3 seasons, you've been persecuting me. I didn't know. I'm sorry. We make a good team together. All that kind of, you know how it works out. You know how they do it. They do this all the damn time. Okay, soap operas do it like crazy. They do it every 6 months on a soap opera. They take a good guy and make him evil, then they bring him back to being good again without really explaining how he got away with all the evil stuff, or it wasn't his fault. He was mind controlled. That's another one they love to use, mind controlled. He was forced to do it. That kind of crap. In the comic books, I grew up reading comic books. And comic books are just like soap operas, okay? Just like wrestling, okay? Wrestling's full of these, stupid ass, drama plot twists and shit where someone is with someone else, then, someone cheats on someone, and now it's going to be, we're going to settle this in the ring on the pay-per-view fight, that kind of thing, of course, it's all bullshit. And it's a cliche today. It's a trope. Okay, lots of people do it now. Okay, like I said, any show that's lasted more than 3 seasons, there have been characters where this has happened. A bad guy ends up being a good guy, or a good guy ends up being a bad guy, whatever the hell it is. Usually it doesn't go to being a good guy becoming a bad guy. Okay, and if it does, they eventually go back to being a good guy. Okay, but it does happen with bad guys, especially a bad guy that becomes popular. Okay, for example, I grew up reading the comic books. I told you, Venom. When Venom first came out, yes, the Tom Hardy movie Venom, that guy. When Venom first came out, he was strictly a villain. He was an evil villain. He killed people. He wanted to kill Spider. He wanted to eat Spider-Man's brains. That was his motivation. He hated Spider-Man. Eddie Brock hated Spider-Man, and the suit, the alien symbiotes hated Spider-Man. So they were both after Spider-Man. They knew who Spider-Man was. They tortured his family. They tortured his wife, his aunts. They went after him to kill him. Okay, but the thing about it is that this character became so popular with me, people like me, where I was reading the comic book every month, that they kept bringing him back. And because he became so popular, they decided to capitalize on it. Instead of him fighting Spider-Man every year, and then going to jail, let's just give him his own comic book and see what happens. Okay, but we can't give him a comic book if he's killing little kids and innocent people. So we'll make him a lethal protector, basically like the Punisher, an anti-hero. And what is an anti-hero? An anti-hero is a good guy that acts mean, but is a good guy. Okay, in other words, they're not going to kill an innocent person. They're not gonna hurt little kids. Okay, they're not gonna like rape anybody. They're not gonna do any of those things. Okay, the worst things they'll do is they'll rob somebody. They'll rob a bank. They'll kidnap somebody, but they won't actually harm that person, like really harm. They'll punch them or something. They ain't gonna like mutilate them or anything like that. No, okay. They're not gonna eat a human being. These are the things the real villains do. Okay, anti-heroes do basically all the other stuff. They don't do the really bad stuff. Okay, but they'll do everything else. They'll curse. They'll smoke cigarettes. They'll disrespect people. They'll pick fights with people, but they won't cross that line. Okay, like Venom in the movies, Venom would never, like, for example, just go up to a random woman and slice her throat. Okay, in the movies, he would never do that. He would, if that woman was like this evil witch that already killed like 50 people and she was going to kill some more, then Venom would do it. He would just cut off her head, okay, to get rid of the threat that she is. Okay, an anti-hero would do that. Superman wouldn't do that. Okay, he would just contain her and put her in jail. Batman would just contain her and put her in jail. But Venom, because he's an anti-hero, not a superhero, he'll kill her to get rid of the threat. You see the difference there? That's what an anti-hero is, and it's fucking boring as hell, and I'm fucking sick and tired of it. Okay, there's villains for a reason. Okay, you don't want to be like them. Okay, there's a reason they cross that line that a normal human is not willing to cross. A normal person is not willing to cross. Okay, these are villains for a reason. Because they work as villains, okay? The Wicked Witch of the West works as a villain against Dorothy because Dorothy is a little girl. She's just trying to get home. She's scared. She's in this crazy land. Luckily, she met some friends that also have things that they want, and she's going to help. They're going to help her by her helping them, okay? She's an innocent girl. She just wants to go home. She doesn't really understand how she ended up here, okay, or that kind of thing. She doesn't want to kill anybody or hurt anybody, okay? She just wants to go home. Okay, she realized that her thoughts about running away were the wrong thoughts, that she shouldn't have done that she's going to end up hurting her family instead of dealing with whatever crisis she's got going on. Okay, so that's a good message there. Okay, but Dorothy is a good person. She's not evil. Okay, in the Wizard of Oz, the Wicked Witch of the West is evil. She doesn't just want to kill; she wants revenge. She wants Dorothy's property. She wants Dorothy's slippers. Okay, because those belong to her sister. So she feels they belong to her. Why the hell is Dorothy wearing them? Those are mine, but she can't take them by force. Okay, she has to kill Dorothy to get those slippers. She's evil. She enjoys hurting Dorothy. She enjoys psychologically torturing Dorothy. She enjoys making threats, and they're not idle threats. Okay, she is gonna fucking kill Toto, Dorothy's dog. Okay, she throws fireballs at them. Fireballs will kill them. Okay. She throws fireballs at people, for Christ's sake, okay? She knows what she's doing, okay? And not only does the Wicked Witch of the West know that she's evil, she enjoys being evil. Why do you think she laughs all the time? Yeah! She does that because she enjoys what she's doing, okay? She's not an anti-hero. She knows she's evil. She enjoys being evil, and there's nothing that's going to stop her from being that way. She's not misunderstood. You see what I mean? She doesn't only kill bad guys. No! She enjoys killing anybody that gets in her way. If she could kill Glinda, she would. She's trying to kill Dorothy. She just got to find a way to get the ruby slippers off first. You see what I mean? So, and she has no problem, killing the Scarecrow or the Tin Man or the Cowardly Lion, okay? She doesn't care. All she cares about is what she wants. Okay, that's a true psychopath right there. And she works as a villain because she's that dangerous. Okay, Dorothy is right to be afraid of her. You see what I mean? That's why the wizard is afraid of her. That's why the wizard sent Dorothy to do his dirty work. Because he's afraid of her too. You see what I mean? It all makes sense, okay? This works in a sense whereas the Wicked Witch of the West is evil. But if you make the Wicked Witch of the West a misunderstood or anti-hero, it eliminates the point of the first movie, the original movie. Okay? Because now it doesn't matter what happens. You know damn well the Wicked Witch is not going to kill Dorothy. She's not going to kill Dorothy. Because she doesn't have that in her, okay? She's not going to torture, her friends. She's not going to kill her friends. She's not a murderer. She's not an evil person. You see what I mean? Hell, she probably won't even lie to Dorothy. She won't, we know that because we know Elphaba is a good person. She would never do that. Okay? This whole thing about her being wicked is a misunderstanding. Did you notice did you notice at all in Wicked that only one time does Elphaba ever laugh like the Wicked Witch of the West? It's a blink and you'll miss it. Okay, it's the scene where Elphaba and Glinda were back when they were new roommates and they hated each other and they were pulling, they were screwing with each other's like property and stuff back and forth over and over again. There's a scene where Elphaba gets in the room and Glinda's right there next to her and they don't like each other and then Elphaba just like and then she walks away. That was the Wicked Witch of the West laugh right there. That tells you that this is how, because let's face it, Elphaba is always melancholy. She's always morose. She's always stoic. She's always like, she's not an emotional person. When she's an emotional person, she's just like a tear will come down, okay? Or she'll make a face like that. That's it, okay? She's not, and I'll kill you too, my pretty. She doesn't do that, okay? That's what the Wicked Witch of the West does, though. You see what I mean? Okay, this character of Elphaba is not the Wicked Witch of the West. And I'm not saying that metaphorically. I'm saying that she doesn't have any of the personality characteristics that the Wicked Witch of the West, as played by Margaret Hamilton in the 1939 movie, has. It's a different character. Okay? So, Gregory Maguire is not much of a genius. Okay? He didn't take the character of the Wicked Witch of the West and turn her into a misunderstood person. Okay? It's not even her. Okay, I know she's supposed to play that role, but it's not her. Okay, Elphaba, as we know her in the Wicked novel and in the movie, would never throw a fireball at a little girl. She would never do that, no matter what that little girl did. Okay, she's not that kind of a person. Okay, but the one from the 1939 movie, as depicted in the novel, okay, the Wonderful Wizard of Oz, 1900, L. Frank Baum's book, that witch would throw a fireball at a little girl. You see what I mean? That's the difference, okay? And Gregory Maguire is trying to make it look like they're the same person. They're not the same person at all. They don't have the same personality characteristics, okay? So what does Gregory Maguire do? He wants to make Elphaba an anti-hero, okay? Basically, she's a good person. I mean, she looks evil, right? Got the green skin and all that. Doesn't have the prosthetic nose, though, does she? Or the prosthetic chin, though, does she, right? Okay? And she doesn't do the cackling. She doesn't do that, okay? She's a very... And she does that a lot, but she doesn't do the whole... She doesn't do that. You see what I mean? Which is what the Wicked Witch of the West does, okay? So what do you do to make her misunderstood? You just rewrite everything. Turns out the Munchkins weren't these nice, tiny, short little people. They were all a bunch of racists, okay, that mistreated her. You see what I mean? Make the good guys the bad guys. Okay, the wizard wasn't, yes, he was a con man and all that, but like he said in the original movie, when Frank Morgan played the Wizard of Oz in the original movie, he said, I'm a good man, I'm just a bad wizard. Okay, Jeff Goldblum's portrayal of the Wizard of Oz, okay, no, he's a bad man. He's a bad man pretending to be a good man. And that's not what the original Wizard of Oz was. Okay, you see what I mean? He actually did give everybody what he promised. He actually did. It just happened in a way that nobody expected it to happen. You see what I mean? He couldn't give the Scarecrow brains because the Scarecrow already had brains. If you've been paying attention, you would have seen that. The way he outsmarted those trees. He got the trees to give them the apples. Instead of picking the apples from the tree, he tricked the trees to throw the apples at them so they could eat them. You see what I mean? The Tin Man already had a heart. Okay? He had it the whole time. He didn't need the wizard to give him one. The Cowardly Lion already had courage. He did not need the wizard to give it to him. And guess what? Dorothy could always go home. She just didn't know how. Okay? He didn't either, but he got her to someone who did know how to get her home. You see what I mean? So in a sense, he did keep his promises. It just didn't happen the way that he thought it would or the way they thought it would. But he wasn't an evil man. That's what I'm trying to tell you. He wasn't an evil person. The worst thing he did, I mean, yes, he tricked them, but he was a con man to that sense. You know, he needed the witch eliminated. The witch was genuinely evil in the original Wizard of Oz movie, so he needed to get rid of her. Okay, and he used the kids to do his dirty work. Okay, you could say it's a little bit evil and manipulative. Okay, but it's not like he was sending these kids to go kill a good person. Okay, the Wicked Witch of the West was definitely wicked, but now in this version of the movie, okay, she's not evil at all. So we know that in the future he's going to send a girl to go kill a good woman. A group of people to go kill a good woman. You know. And that makes Dorothy evil, or at least super, super fucking stupid. You see what I mean? Gullible. You see, and that's just not right. You can't make one character, you can't make the Wicked Witch of the West good by making all the good characters evil. You see what I mean? That's what the book is doing. It's a good book. It's a good story, okay? But Gregory Maguire does rewrite a lot of the canon, okay? Changing things to make it so that Elphaba is just being misunderstood. She's not a genuinely evil psychopath. You see what I mean? And that's what they do in these movies now. They did it with Maleficent, with Angelina Jolie. They turned her into an anti-hero. Okay, she's not evil. Oh, she looks evil. She makes threats. She raises her voice and she talks about hurting people. But does she ever really hurt anybody? Not on purpose. The only person Maleficent hurt on purpose was the little girl. You know, and then she tried to take that spell back and she couldn't. She was actually nicer to Sleeping Beauty than those goddamn little colored fairies that were supposed to be taking care of her. You know what I mean? The same thing with what they did the same thing to Cruella de Vil. Okay, when Emma Stone played her in the Cruella movie. Okay, she wasn't some puppy murdering psychopath. She was just this misunderstood anti-hero. You know, the real villain was her mom. That was the real Cruella de Vil, not her. Those underlings that she had, Jasper and Horace, who were her stooges that she had in the original cartoon, okay, that she ordered them around and threatened to kill them all the time, you know, and threatened to beat them up all the time. Okay, well, it turns out those are her friends. They followed her orders because they respected her, not because they had to or they were evil or anything like that, or she paid them. They were her friends. The only friends she had. You see what I mean? It's bullshit. No, keep her evil. She works as a villain. Okay? And this goddamn book, Wicked, started off that trope, and now they do it to everybody. Like I said, they did it to the Venom. They did it to Venom in the movies, okay? Why do you think all those Spider-Man villain movies have failed? Kraven the Hunter was the last one, okay? He's a villain. He's a hero in the movie. Morbius, he's a villain. He's a hero in his movie. Venom, he's a villain. Oh, he's a hero in his trilogy of movies. They keep doing that over and over again because they want you to sympathize with the villain, okay? And how do you sympathize with the villain? By making him not a villain, okay? He acts like a villain, but he doesn't actually do what a real villain would do. For like the Punisher. The Punisher is a famous superhero. Okay, he's an anti-hero. What is the Punisher? Okay, the difference between him and, like, say, Superman is the Punisher actually kills the bad guys. He doesn't kill innocent people. He doesn't kill kids. He doesn't kill good people. He only kills the bad guys. But because he's always like, and he's unshaven and broken nose, and he's always like shooting his guns, like he enjoys shooting his guns and killing people, like that. He looks like a villain. But when you actually read the story, you realize, he only kills people that are more evil, okay, that are a hell of a lot worse than him. So in a sense, he's a good. Who's going to really, who's going to throw the book at him for that? He's killing all the psychopaths that are out there. It's not like he's killing good people or innocent people. He's not. He's killing people with horrible, horrible things on their resume. You see what I mean? That's what I'm talking about. It's a form of manipulation to get you to like the character, okay? It's been done in the pulps. It's been done in soap operas. It's been done in comic books. Okay, I can't tell you how many times they took a villain in the X-Men comic book. They took Magneto, who's a standard X-Men villain. Yeah, he's pretty deep. I mean, there's a reason he's that way, okay? And they turned him into a hero for a while. He was a good guy. Everyone just forgot or forgave him for all the stuff that he did. And then they said, this doesn't work. And they made him back to being a villain again. Same thing with Scarlet Witch. They did that several times. They made her, she started off as a bad guy, but not really. And then she became a good guy for a long time. Then she went to being evil again. And then they brought her back. Okay, everybody just forgave her or forgot about all the things that she did, or they just never mentioned it again. So we all just acted like it never happened. Okay, but yeah, no, she actually did bad things. But if you don't talk about it, you can just act like it never happened. You see what I mean? And that doesn't work in real life, okay? And that wouldn't work here, okay? We know the Wicked Witch of the West was evil and did terrible things, okay? Because we saw the movie. So just make sure that Elphaba doesn't do any of those things. And, everyone will sympathize with her. We'll just rewrite the story so that Wicked Witch of the West never actually really did anything bad. She was just a victim of the patriarchy. She was mistreated. You see what I mean? She was othered. She was a victim of racism and sexism and homophobia. You see what I mean? Oh, I know you fucking liberal professors watching me right now. You're all good like, yes, yes, yes. You know? Yeah, fixing to take up arms, right? You know, not everyone's a fucking victim, okay? And just because you claim to be a victim doesn't mean that you're not a perpetrator either, okay? This is all bullshit. Nothing is black and white, okay? Not like that anyway. There are things that are black and white, okay? But morality is not one of them, all right? This is just gaslighting. Okay, and this movie's got a lot of propaganda in it. I'm going to call it out every time I see it. You know, trying to get the kids that watch this to be like, oh yes, you know, Elphaba she's just an activist. She protests. You know, she's doing something about the problem. We just got to let in more illegals. That's all. You see what I mean? That kind of Antifa. That's basically what she is. Okay, and it's a good thing. It's a good thing. You know, she follows all the tropes that Disney, you know, and all these like TV shows and movies for kids have been doing lately, like Frozen, for example, the movie Frozen, Elsa. Okay, there's a scene where Elsa sings "Let It Go," right? Let it go. Okay, what's she saying? She's thinking about how she's not going to be a good girl anymore. She can't play that role. You know, her whole life she's been told that she has to be good. Well, fuck that! I'm not going to be good anymore. I'm going to be me. You see what I mean? Basically, fuck all you. I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want because what I want is more important than what society needs. Okay? You see? And that can be translated to anything. Okay? That can be translated to anything. Okay? That's what I'm talking about. Okay? And this definitely goes there. Okay? Wicked definitely goes there. All right. So moving right along. Okay, where did we leave off last time? Okay. So Elphaba had her falling out with the wizard. She realizes the wizard is a fraud. Okay, that he has no powers at all. He actually needs her to read the Grimoire, the magical book, to cast the spells. So she tried it, okay, and she gave all the the blue monkey guards wings, so now they can fly, but it was very painful. She tried to take it back, but she can't take it back. Madame Horrible, the sorcery instructor at Shiz University, told her that once you cast a spell from the Grimoire, it can never be undone. So now she cannot make the monkeys go back to normal. She decided that she realizes that it's actually the wizard it's actually the wizard that's been persecuting all the animals in Oz. Okay, she went to the wizard to get him to find a way to help the animals that are being persecuted. Turns out he's the one doing it. Okay, he's doing it because he needs to get all the people together. And by that, I mean all the humans. He's got to get all the humans together to follow him. And the best way to get people together is to create a villain for them. So he decided to demonize the animals. Now all the humans have a common threat, so they'll all band together under his control, okay? See, he's evil. He's a dictator, okay? And he manipulated Elphaba to get her to the castle, to get her to the Emerald City, to meet with him, so that he could basically offer to give her, you know, sanctuary there. Hey, you're going to be my second command, and someday all this is going to be yours. Would you like that? In fact, I can even make your skin normal, so people won't have to hound you anymore. Would you like that? Why am I doing this? Because I'm a sentimental man, and I like feeling parental. And I've always wanted to be a father, you know, that kind of thing, you know. And in fact, I think I know you very well. You know, basically he's hinting at her that I'm your dad. Okay, he's her dad. We all know that. Elphaba doesn't know that, but we know that. The viewers, we know that. Okay, we know that Frexbar, the governor of Munchkinland, is not her biological father. Okay, we know that. Okay, his mom was cheating around all the time. Okay, so he knows that. He's keeping that information from her. Okay, he's trying to use her to get what he wants. Okay, he wanted the monkeys to have wings so that they could spy for him. Okay, and Madame Horrible, the dean of sorcery at Shiz University, she's been helping him. She's been scouting the university, looking for someone who has potential so that she could bring him before the wizard, and together they could open the Grimoire and start casting the spell so that he could take over Oz properly. All right, and she found Elphaba and manipulated her, you know, and it worked. But Elphaba went against. She will not go along with the program. She will not toe the line. She goes against the wizard, steals the Grimoire, and decides to escape. She decides to flee. Now Glinda, who later on becomes the Good Witch of the North, is there. They're best friends. Her and Elphaba are best friends. She tries to talk Elphaba out of it. No. Give the wizard another chance. You know, what he's trying to do is more important than your personal feelings, you know, or what you're trying to do. But Elphaba says no. She has her own code, and she's not gonna cross her own morality for anybody. So anyway, so she runs away. Okay, they send the guards after Elphaba. Now Elphaba's still in the castle. She's still inside the Emerald City, inside the palace. Okay, so she decides to just give chase. All right. So they send the monkeys out there. Madame Horrible, what do you call it? She tells Glinda, go out there and get your friend back, or else. So Glinda goes chasing after Elphaba. And then we see Madame Morrible do her sinister slow motion walk. Because it turns out Michelle Yeoh, the Asian actress that plays Madame Morrible, turns out that her character is actually evil and working with the wizard. She's been manipulating Elphaba this whole time. Okay? Okay, she does a sinister walk in slow motion that would make Zack Snyder proud. Okay, then Elphaba tries to escape, but the monkeys, okay, are at the windows, and they're smashing through the windows to try to get to her. They can't fit through the window, okay, because it's got bars on it, but they're trying to stick their arm in and try to grab her. So Elphaba's just like, trying to get out of there and just keeps running down the hallway. Glinda's chasing her, trying to tell her, come back. We can talk about this. Give the wizard another chance, that kind of thing, all right? Tries to get her to come back, but the monkeys attack Glinda too, all right? So anyway, so the wizard uses his robot head. He goes up to his control room behind the curtain, okay? And he uses his robot head, despite the fact that everybody in Oz already knows that he's a fucking normal looking human being that looks like Jeff Goldblum. He's not a robotic head with magical powers. Everybody already knows he's just a normal guy, all right? Which is, like I said, this is what I talk about, like decanonizing the Wonderful Wizard of Oz. In the original Wonderful Wizard of Oz movie, nobody knew what the wizard really looked like, except maybe a few people. Dorothy, the Scarecrow, the Cowardly Lion, and the Tin Man definitely did not know what he looked like. Neither did the Munchkins. They did not know what he looked like. So when they saw that holographic big green head with sharp teeth, they assumed that was the real wizard, okay? Everyone thought that was what the wizard looked like, okay? They didn't know it was just a normal, ordinary guy. But here in this movie, everybody knows that already. They've got statues of him at Shiz University. They got pop-up books with him in there as a human being. They got placards on the wall of what he looks like. Okay, so there's no mystery as to who the Wizard of Oz is. He's a dude. Okay, anyway, so the wizard uses the robot head. He orders all the guards in Oz to bring Elphaba to him. Okay? Elphaba and Glinda, they make it to the attic tower, okay? There's an attic room inside the tower, okay, that has the Omaha State Fair hot air balloon in there. Now, that's the hot air balloon that the wizard used, okay? He was in the hot air balloon, like I guess he was like a magician or something, or some sort of a grifter, you know? He got caught up in a tornado in Omaha, and he ended up crash landed in the land of Oz. Just like Dorothy ended up in a tornado in Kansas and crash landed in the wonderful world of Oz, all right? So his balloon that took him there is there. That's where he keeps it parked, okay? It's deflated right now, but it says Omaha State Fair on it, and that's where it is. So they find it there, okay, the hot air balloon, and they try to fire it up. I guess the wizard still kept the gasoline inside the fire engines and stuff, you know, so they try to gas it up so they can float out of there, fly out of the tower, okay? Well, the guards are giving chase, okay, and but they do fire it up and to escape, okay? Glinda jumps onto the hot air balloon, and they have to fight off the guards. So there's a bit of an action scene here. And of course, these women, okay, easily overpower these big, strong, tough men, all right? And they kick them all off the hot air balloon. The guards, however, they do seal the tower so that the balloon cannot fly out. It gets trapped, okay? The tower closes, the ceiling closes, so they can't get out. And the spikes from where the ceiling closed puncture the balloon, so now it's deflated. Now it comes crashing down. Because it got deflated while the fire was still going up, okay, to shoot the hot air, now the balloon has caught fire. So it comes crashing down. Luckily, Elphaba and Glinda jump off before that happens, but it does come crashing down onto the guards that are down there. So luckily, they I don't think they get hurt at all, okay, but they manage to get out of the way, but it does slow them down a bit. How? I don't fucking know how, but it does. All right, so it crashes down. Okay, the guards seal the tower, blah, blah, blah. The girls make it to an empty attic room, okay? They go into an empty room, okay, where Elphaba uses a broomstick. She finds a broomstick on the floor, and she uses it to barricade the door, okay? And then she puts a popcorn machine, from Earth, from our world, in front of the door. That means that if someone tries to open the door, they're going to have to break the broomstick because it's there, and then they're going to have to push through the popcorn machine that's also blocking the door. And that's it. Okay, so that's going on here, okay. Glinda, while they're being chased, okay, they take a moment to take a break and have a little bit of an argument. Okay, Glinda and Elphaba, okay? And they start doing this, I hope you're happy now. Well, I hope you're happy now. Like I said, Glinda wants to stay, okay, and wants to stay, under the wizard's care, and Elphaba doesn't. She wants to fight the wizard. So Glinda chastises Elphaba for causing all this big problem, this whole big commotion. I hope you're happy now. Look what you've done. Now the wizard's coming for you. It could have been so easy. All you had to do was go along with this. You know, it would have been so much easier for you and better for you. And Elphaba chastises Glinda, okay, for being a sellout. You would give up your principles and your morals so you could improve your status in Oz. You know, don't you have any moral courage? You know, so they both got points here, okay? I see where both of them are coming from. Glinda's not necessarily, I mean, she's a narcissistic bitch, but she's not evil. Okay, she just wants to improve her station in life. She wants to be, you know, part of the hierarchy of Oz. Okay, she comes from a rich family. She wants to spend her adult life in an important position. She wants to be the head sorceress. She wants to be the good witch of the North. That's her goal. Okay, being favors, you know, having the Wizard of Oz be on your side is going to help her do that. You see what I mean? So that's why she doesn't want to go against him. Meanwhile, Elphaba's like, no, we got to help the animals. The wizard's evil. We've been lied to. I can't go along with, I'll never go along with this. Blah, blah, blah. You know, what they're doing is wrong. I got to stop them. I got to find a way to fight them. You see what I mean? She's got that righteousness, that righteous indignation, okay? That all SJWs have, you know, because they all think that they're the ones that can fucking fix the world by themselves. Like no one ever thought about doing it before. Anyway, but they both have good points, okay? Madame Morrible makes an announcement on the intercom. She goes to the intercom, and this is broadcast throughout, not just in the tower, not just in the Emerald City. Okay, her broadcast reaches all of Oz. Okay, so even in Munchkin Land, they hear this broadcast. Okay, even at Shiz University, they hear this broadcast, all right? And what Madame Morrible says is she says, citizens of Oz, there is an enemy that must be found and captured. Believe nothing she says. She has stolen our Grimmery. She is evil. She is responsible for the mutilation of these poor, innocent blue monkeys. Her green skin is just a manifestation of her twisted nature. This distortion, this repulsion is a wicked witch. And of course, Elphaba's listening to all this. Like she realizes that they just mounted a PR campaign against her. That the enemy that the wizard was looking for to unite everybody together, okay, is now her. Okay, they're not going to go after the animals, at least not the way they used to. They're going to go after her now. Okay, by making Elphaba the villain, everyone else becomes the hero. Wow, you see how that works? You see how that works? So if you're the hero and she's the villain, then you have the right to do whatever the hell you want to Elphaba now, because she's the real evil. She is the threat that must be eliminated. We got to capture her. And if we can't capture her, we got to send some fucking incel, okay, in a BlackRock commercial, you know, and we'll clear a place for him where nobody can see him to take her out. You know, it doesn't matter because we're going to take him out once he's done the job. We're going to take him out so he can't answer any questions. Pretty smart, huh? Yeah, pretty much. So that's what they do. Okay, that's exactly what they do. Okay, Glinda grabs Elphaba's hand here, okay, and tells her not to be afraid. Don't be afraid. And Elphaba's like, this is her big moment. You saw in the trailer. She's like, don't be afraid. And she's like, I'm not afraid. It is the wizard who should be afraid of me. Oh, just like Joy Reid right there. Dude, that was a Joy Reid imitation right there. Impersonation. Perfect. With her smugness. You know? I was afraid the whole movie would be like, when I saw that trailer and I saw this scene in it, I thought the whole movie was going to be like that. Luckily, it wasn't. Okay. So that's going on here, okay? The wizard should be afraid of her. Glinda tries to convince Elphaba by singing, of course, because that's how she talks to her, to go back to the wizard and to, if you go back to the wizard, he'll forgive you for this and he'll give you whatever you want. He'll give you everything that you wanted. And Elphaba says, like, I know, but I don't want it. I can't want it anymore. Something has changed inside of me. Something is not the same. I can't go on playing by the rules of someone else's game. Okay? Now, in case you have no, like, this is exactly what I'm talking about, okay? Like Elsa did in Frozen, where she's saying, like, let it go. Okay, I can't be the good girl anymore. But, you know, she can't do what society expects her to do. She's got to be herself. Unleash herself. Okay, well, that's what's going on here. It's the same fucking shit. She can't play by the wizard's rules, okay? That's because in this context, the wizard is evil. Okay, and in Frozen, okay, society is evil for forcing Elsa to be fucking straight. Okay, that's really what's going on here. Okay, she's a lesbian. She's, you know, and she wants to be proud of it. Okay, you see where I'm going with this? How the politics are just fucking in there, and that's what's going on here. Okay, exactly. You could easily translate her words into, you know, oh, society tells me I should be in love with a man, but I'm not in love with men. I don't like men. Men are gross, and they should all be castrated and killed. I have to be who I want to be. You see what I mean? It's that kind of crap. And it's not just sexuality. This could be fucking body positive. If you're a fucking fat ass, okay, you've got, you know, you're 25 and you weigh 300 pounds and you've got fucking diabetes already. You know, you should be proud of yourself. You know why? Because body positivity. You see what I mean? You shouldn't have to fucking shave your legs, your armpits, okay? Or use a tampon. That's just the patriarchy forcing you to do those things. You see what I mean? That's what I'm talking. And that's exactly what this fucking bullshit is here. And I'm getting fucking worked up, okay? And I will talk more about this in the next video. But I'm going to stop my video right here. I thank you very much for watching this long. And I'll see you soon on the next one. Bye.